3 days ago, we got the first ever balance update from the devs for Overwatch 2, so in this video we're just going to go over it, jump right into it, and just see what they actually did. Keep in mind, I already looked over this so I know what actually happened, but for anyone who hasn't, stay tuned, you'll see what happened. And before we actually start, I want to wish everyone a very happy Halloween. In the background of this video, I'm just going to be playing Junkenstein's Revenge, so that way you can have a little bit of festive fun while you listen to this. I hope everyone had a good weekend, I hope everyone was very safe, and I hope that today everyone has a lot of candy to enjoy. So there are going to talk about the hero balances here, and I think most of them, are going to be D.Va, Zarya, Genji, and Sombra. Now, some of them I agree might need a little bit of nerfing, and some of them I actually think could be buffed in certain ways, but you'll see this when you actually read it. So for Sombra, her hack ability, lockout duration reduced from 1.75 to 1.5 seconds, I think that is a viable nerf. She's very OP right now, and pretty much anyone that's basically an invisible character that can go right behind someone, hack them, and then get them, and then hack them again and get them, and hack them again and get them, is very OP. So she is very meta right now, and she is awesome. So that does help. Hacked enemies are no longer valid targets for hacking for the duration of the effect. I think that's fair because, again, spam hacking is insane. So, again, makes sense. And then hacked damage multiplier reduced from 40% to 25. That is a major nerf for her. She still is going to be very, very viable, but now she's just going to be a little bit less OP, which is good. She is benefiting greatly from less crowd control, so those are the things going on with Sombra right now. She can also no longer channel hack on already hacked targets. Yep, like they said, as feedback indicated, the reduced cooldown combined with hacking from stealth provides to be too frustrating for many players. I think Hammond is a very big target when it comes to something like that, so makes perfect sense for her. Genji, max ammo reduced from 30 to 24. Shuriken damage reduced from 29 to 27. So, Genji, in my opinion, is a very, very good character who is benefiting greatly from the 5v5 and less crowd control. However, in my opinion, Genji's not OP. He's very good and he's very versatile if you can play him well, but he's not OP. So, to go from 30 to 24 is significant, man. To go from 29 to 27 as well. So not only are you reducing his ammo, you're reducing the damage of all that ammo that you now have left. So this might not seem significant, the 29 to 27, but when you also reduce the ammo from 30 to 24, that's an entire cycle. Well, that's 2 cycles actually of throwing the shurikens. It's a lot. So I don't know why they felt the need to nerf him. He was already very strong, but he wasn't OP. Sombra, I think, needed a bit of a nerf. But Genji didn't really need one. He was fine as he is. I think you should have played out more to see how it continued to be and not nerf him already. I don't think that was necessary. There's other DPS like, I don't know, Sojourn, who's one-shotting people with her ult that deserve an actual nerf. But I don't believe she has one, so we'll get into that as well. Zarya, I felt Zarya is one of the most OP tanks right now. Her bubble and her damage output and the reach of her particle cannon is very, very large. I didn't think it would be that much of a range. Even if you have 0 charge on with her, she does a lot of damage. I didn't think she would do that much, but she's probably meta at this point. She's very, very good. So the duration is now reduced from 2.5 to 2 seconds. That, in my opinion, is a very big nerf. To go from 2.5 to 2. She was very good having that 2.5. I also noticed that compared to Overwatch 1, the bubbles were lasting a little bit longer, so that makes sense why it was 2.5. And then barrier cooldown increased from 10 to 11. I don't think that's necessary, but I think this was very, very necessary because it was lasting for a very long time. So I guess they just double nerfed her, but I do agree with this 100%. She is very powerful. Zarya has very limited windows of vulnerability, which feels difficult to deal with when combined with her ramping damage potential. Agreed 100%. So I don't think it was needed from 10 to 11 seconds, but the 2.5 to 2, I think that was very, very needed. Going over to D.Va, fusion cannon spread increased from 3.5 to 3.75. That's not too big of a deal considering she's more of a mid-range to extremely close range, so this isn't that bad. Booster damage reduced from 25 to 15. That's fair because what's been happening for the most part is if you have a bunch of enemies that are like in a weakened state, just going into them with booster, 1, it'll charge up your ult, and 2, it could actually knock them out. 25 damage is a lot. That's basically what, maybe 2/3 of a melee attack? So it's good what she can do. You know, granted, if they're already low on HP, she boosts into them and then does a little bit of her cannon spread. It's going to be a lot. So I don't think these are going to hurt her that much because she's already very good. She's a very, very good individual because of her defense matrix. That's one of the biggest things. Increasing that defense matrix by 1 second, that's a lot. Like, she is very, very good. I don't know if she's meta, but she is very good as she is right now. So I don't think this is going to be too significant on her. So not necessarily any problems with this. Kiriko, Swift Step, and Vulnerability duration reduced from 0.4 seconds to 0.25 seconds. I don't think that was necessary at all. I think that she's only been out in competitive for maybe 10 days, maybe a little bit longer, close-ish to 2 weeks. So I think that one of the best things for her was having that slight invulnerability getting in and out. But I don't think that she, of all the heroes, needed a nerf. But I understand why. Again, right here. Avoid instantly dying to something unseen after teleporting through walls. I get that, but it ended up being a little bit too long and led to some confusion while shooting at Kiriko. Why is it confusing? If you're using it and other people are using it, they should know exactly why she's invulnerable. And it's not that long, 0.4 seconds. So I don't know why. I think the only reason they did this was just to, yeah, I guess primarily intended to avoid instantly dying. But it wasn't too significant. It's not like she was invulnerable for 2 seconds. So I think this was completely unnecessary. I think you should have given her more time, considering she's been on competitive for maybe, 10 to 14 days compared to everyone else. So I don't think that that was necessary. But, you know, it is what it is. Our current goal is to deploy these changes in an upcoming update on November 15th. Is there any reason why they won't do it right away instead of just doing it now? I think what's happening is they want our feedback. And my feedback, at least. I'll get into it right after this. Should that plan change, it probably will. We will be sure to update you here. You probably will. For those wanting a preview of how these changes will play, check out the Overwatch League playoffs on October 30th. I hope everyone is watching Overwatch League. I made a video earlier about how you can get free skins if you link your Battle.net account to your YouTube. So just by watching Overwatch League, you can get some free skins, I think some free sprays, and then free emotes. I don't know about emotes, but the other two I know 100%. So that's going to be cool. In my opinion, though, overall, Sombra's was necessary. She's still very strong, but she's not super OP right now. Genji's was unnecessary. I think Sojourn one-shotting people with her ult and as well as her just charged beam, you know, the ult allows you to have 100% charge on her. But if you already have a 100% just from shooting people, which isn't that hard to get with her because she still gets charge from like barriers and bubbles, you can still one-shot people, right? This is why Widow and Hanzo can be extraordinarily dangerous because they can one-shot people with their attacks, right? But you have to be very careful because they're reliant on a headshot. You're not always going to get a headshot. So someone like Sojourn, I don't know if her hitbox is slightly bigger than the other two, but for her, it's a little bit easier, from what I've noticed, for people to get headshots, which is why she's so OP right now. She has amazing versatility. She does really high damage output. So I think her, instead of Genji, is the one who should have actually got a nerf. But this is what they decided. Zarya, I think, was very necessary, so I agree with this completely. Diva, I don't think was too necessary, but I can understand why. Maybe they reduced to 25 to 15. She's still very, very, very good. Kiriko, I think this was completely unnecessary. I don't think they need to do this at all, but that's what they decided to do. So we will see what happens November 15th. I guarantee you there's going to probably be some changes, but this is what they're going over right now. I know there was another thread where they went over a couple things that could happen to other heroes, but because something isn't definitely said yet, like in this patch note, it's just speculation based on what the lead developer could have said. So that I'm going to take with a pinch of salt, and this I'm going to take with a pinch of salt. So this is just an update based on the actual developer update. We'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Are you enjoying Overwatch? Have you been playing Junkenstein's Revenge because it is Halloween time? Have you been watching Overwatch League? Playoffs are going on right now. It is very fun and it is getting very intense. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Happy Halloween. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.